wabarakatuh. My name is Fatina Nabila from Group 2. In this video, me with my fellow members will talk about informative speech. What is informative speech? It is a speech designed to convey knowledge and understanding. An informative speech gives information to an audience using verbal descriptions and sometimes accompanying visuals or demonstrations. Many companies and organizations use informative speeches to describe decisions they have made. It provides information about valuable discoveries and educate people on significant topics. These speeches are often educational and objective, so they use facts and evidence to establish credibility and give people accurate information to consider when making decisions. The purpose of the informative speech is to provide interesting, useful, and unique information to audience. By dedicating yourself to the goals of providing information and appealing to your audience, you can take a positive step towards succeeding in your efforts as an informative speaker. Whether you are giving speech to explain, describe, or demonstrate, you should consider to always be accurate, objective, clear, meaningful, and memorable.
Hi, my name is Nur Shafika. I will continue our topic related to characteristics of effective informative speech. There are three characteristics that I will explain through the presentation, which are intellectually stimulating, relevant, and creative. First of all, intellectual stimulating. The point here is new knowledge that create their curiosity and interest them. If the audience familiar with the topic that you explain, identify other ways by describing information that the audience does not know. My second point is relevance. Relevance are statements that show how a particular point are important to a listener, which is your audience, throughout the speech. Compare unfamiliar topic with something audience are familiar with and relevant to their life. And my last point is creative. The point made here is the speech produce an innovative idea. To have a creative informative speech, the speech must be obtained through a good research, time, and productive thinking.
Next, I, Nada Shaira, will be sharing a few tips to make our informative speech memorable. Firstly, scope our speech. Why do we need to do so? This is because some of our audience have hard time to follow speeches that are too broad. Wide-range speech left the audience wondering what the speaker wants to pitch. So, make sure to keep our information relevant to our topic and keep our speech short yet meaningful. Secondly, connect with our audience. Be relatable with the audience by including humor or personal stories. Emotional creation will result from this connection. The emotion will trigger audience memory as they will try to recall their experience to relate with the situation we include. Last but not least, utilize visual presentation aids wisely. Make the best use of visuals, graphics, video, photos, or any other aids that would be very helpful to audience to understand better our information that we are intended to deliver. This will help the audience remember the facts that we provided. For example, make a PowerPoint presentation with well-prepared visuals and graphics to attract and keep the attention of our audience. This will increase the chances that they will remember the information contained in the visual.
What is a diverse learning style? Do you guys know about it? No? Well, let me explain it to you. A diverse learning style is where we use a different learning style in our learning process, either teaching or speaking, even studying itself. However, for public speaking, diverse learning styles are being used in speakers' speeches to give an effective, informative speech to the audience, thus for the audience to understand what information the speaker has given to them. You guys know audience have different preference on how they learn, such as needs to move their body or listen continuously to the talk, and that is why speaker needs to juggle up the way they give and get the speech to the audience, with the aim that the audience will catch some words in their talk. So, in ways to juggle up, what thing that speaker needs to do? Well, the speaker needs to be prepared in advance and make a note of where and how we need to use each of dimension in their speech outline. Some of the dimensions are feeling, watching, thinking, and doing. Furthermore, all of these dimensions can be applied by using stories, visual aids, clear macro structure, and demonstration. After all, we as a public speaker need to have many variables ways that can make our audience more understanding and have a meaningful and memorable words in our talk.
So, now, what are the major methods of informing? There are 5 major methods you need to know. Firstly, description. Description is a method used to create an accurate picture of an object. This method usually answers the who, what, or where questions. Secondly, definition. It is a method that explains the meaning of something. You can define a word or idea by classifying it or differentiating it from similar ideas, such as by explaining its use or function. Thirdly is comparison and contrast. It focuses on how something is similar to and different from other things. Fourthly, narration. A method of informing that recounts a myth, a story, or some other account. Characteristics of a good narration include a strong storyline, pacing that builds suspense, use of descriptive language and details that enhance the plot, people, setting, and events. Lastly, demonstration. Demonstration shows how something is done or how something works. In a demonstration, you organize the steps from first to last so that your audience will be able to remember the sequence.